We're gonna start at the top.
Yeah, 100%. So we
Cool.
can introduce. How's it going, man?
Hey,
We've got.
I am.
Well, I mean,
Sorry.
you introduce yourself. You work away. You're an independent man.
I am William Maranci. I make mashups. I am currently working on a mashup album slash movie type thing. I don't know when it's going to be out, but I've been working on it very hard. I mostly just make mashups and I stream on Twitch and review people's mashups and react to Eurovision and whatnot. And sometimes I'll post dumb stuff to Twitter and Instagram. Yeah.
And TikTok, man. You're on TikTok too. That's where all the
I
kids
am.
are.
Yeah.
That's where all the cool kids
Yeah,
are.
I do need to use TikTok more. I don't know, I'm just kind of lazy with uploading stuff today, but I
mean,
do have a TikTok.
Instagram's too much for me at the moment. Never mind TikTok. Like I just can't.
Yeah.
The idea of 10 seconds is too much, or 6, whatever it is. I'm aware of TikTok. You said something there. Yeah, the movie. You just casually dropped that. What do you mean? You're doing like a movie for this?
It's not like a movie, it's like a 50-minute like music video. It's every song gets a music video, and it'll be the next thing I upload to YouTube.
That's very, very cool. Because I know you were tweeting.
Yeah.
Was that last night? You were tweeting about you weren't happy with something you're working on at the moment. Pizza.
Yeah, it was just like a
Pizza
mix.
Mountain?
Like, yeah, it's like a series of mixtapes of just like YouTube uploads, but like basically in like a mixtape format. But I just wasn't happy with how it was sounding, and I don't really keep stems of like the uploads I make on YouTube, so I didn't really have a ton to work with. So
Right. Okay. I'm with it. I'm with it.
yeah. I also mostly just wanted to make it to make money because I'm kind of broke.
Fair enough. If you're watching this, you also have a Patreon. I'll plug the shit out of this later as well. But,
Patreon.com/William A. Maranci.
like the man he's squatting right now. He moved into this house just for this stream. He hijacked someone's house just for this. He's so broke. Give the man some love. Give him love. Give him money. We were on that stream of Unks recently, and I was imploring my fangirlness about your content, and you mistakenly responded. So here we are going through the Iceberg meme that Freddie posted. I think. Like,
yeah, I have actually seen a few of your videos from original posting because I'm in original posting.
The man's a true nephew. So before, well, I'll say quickly. So Freddie made these classic Iceberg memes, and it was Marvin who actually tagged me in it. Was like, man, would you go through this? So yeah, we're doing that. So just before, how long have you been in original posting?
Probably since original maybe like a little after original came out, so like 2016, 2017.
Fair. So like you're an OG nephew, like you're deep in it.
Yeah, I wasn't like super active in the group until maybe like when the like whole Lamb thing started.
Yeah, because I was there. I don't want to say early, but I was there like early enough. And I remember all the Death Saga coming out, but I like left the group and I can't remember what it was. There was something, I think like it was when they started spamming something. I don't know what it was, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like stop using social media as much. I'm gonna kind of cut away from all this stuff. I like left like Ireland Simpsons fans. That was how serious it got. It's like the big Simpsons like main page from here. It's so good. I would recommend anyone to go on. That's the best page. But yeah, like left loads of groups, and then I rejoined in like 2018 or so, and then as everyone else has got more and more tired of this, I've taken it more and more seriously, like a proper loser. So yeah, we'll start at the top. Apologies again, we were just talking about this before we started recording this, like actual the image looked alright on my phone, but some of the text is a bit wonky, so I'll probably end up maybe fixing it later, probably not because I'm lazy, but we'll work it out. So we'll start over here, man. Original. Do we know what original is? We've heard of original.
It's a banger.
It's a banger.
As he said, it is like, you may not like it, but it is catchy.
That's like, I love Like he can't even sell his own art anymore. He's just like, it's fine. It's good. It's good. I
Yeah,
liked it. It's fine. You're like doesn't even believe in himself anymore. It's
yeah,
so sad. It's fine. It's becoming like mid tier for me.
yeah.
You know,
I
as
feel
he,
like he does have better songs than original.
yeah, 100%, 100%. I don't know.
Also, far worse.
Yes, at least original. Say what you will. It's fun. It was like neat. The first time you
Yeah,
heard it, you'd stick it on again, maybe. But there's a
yeah,
lot of it where I forget it exists. You know, I'm just like
yeah.
whatever. Motivational rap is obviously just, I mean, his entire career at this point, isn't it?
Pretty much. I mean, he's kind of drifted, like, he's drifted in and out of it. Like, some of his songs are more just like, I'm awesome, and my dance moves are like a batch of napalm and all
Oh,
that. And,
bar,
but then
bar.
his other songs are like, you should really think about not bullying the people at your school and stuff like that.
You said like a Norm Macdonald bit. They the school and the boys and the he someone like I noticed it in his most recent tune as well, like Big Energy Mode, where he just like casually drops a line where he says something like, "I can do it, so you can too," and he just can't help himself. Like he's just like, "I want to motivate. I really want
Yeah.
everyone to be on the same grind as me," and the NFT stuff
Yeah.
won't help because
Ugh.
all the crypto bros are very like, "Yeah, man, let's all get on that. Yeah, we all have to the moon and all that shit," you know.
You can rap over a beat where the tuba's panned all the way to the left too.
I actually that crappy book club strip club video. I actually had to mono like half of it because it sounded so
Yeah.
stupid still with the tube in the left. Like I was like trying to sit there like EQing it to make it sound, you know, like it was coming from like a tinny little speaker, and you'd still just hear the tuba here, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh
So
man.
mono's the only way. It's like the Beach Boys. You gotta listen to Uncle in mono.
Yeah.
The 227k minus 227k. So you were there for the
Yeah.
first alarm video, were you?
Yeah. Was the first Alam video, I think it wasn't quite that bad, but I think by the Anthony Fantano Needle Dick video,
Yeah.
he said it was 227.
I thought it was. I can't remember if he says the number in the first. I think he does. I think he does say it, and then
It was
he.
lower though. It might have been like 164.
I
I
think
don't
you're
know.
right, and then it's like number four when he's in his when he's like trying to sell the car, and he gets them to drive him
Yep.
home. That's maybe the lowest when he sells his car to some random
Yeah.
people, and they have to drive him home. It's like as sad as it gets in terms of death. Like
Oh,
and it's one thing, we've all been there, we've all had bad days and bad nights, but I wouldn't
yeah.
necessarily put that on the internet, you know, I wouldn't necessarily share.
Right. Yep.
Anti-bullying is itself. I'm surprised Oxygen's this high. I would call that a deeper cut, but I guess it's a million
Yeah.
subs too now.
I
So
think it's
really,
just because of Spotify streams or whatever. I think maybe it just wound up in a playlist or something and got to like a million streams somehow. I don't know. I think it's his second most streamed song. Is it
it
his
is,
second or
yeah.
third?
It is, I mean, assuming I haven't added like his YouTube streams and his Spotify streams to
Yeah.
this, but it's definitely number two on Spotify for
Cool.
sure. Um,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on Oxygen? Are you a fan of it? Are you?
I think it's fine. I mean, it's definitely for I see how he could think it was like a little bit different for him. Like he definitely switched it up a little bit. Like the beat is a little bit more like oh, just like
Arty, I guess, isn't it?
yeah,
Just a
like
bit more
more
like
like and just like the whispering parts. It's like I don't feel like he would have done that on like maybe like Pulse or
yeah.
Humble Beginnings. Like that seems a little bit more like interesting.
Agreed, agreed.
Or I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, because I know you. I mean, obviously you make beats yourself as well, don't you? Like, I mean, even aside from the
a little
mashup
bit.
stuff.
Yeah.
What do you do? How do you approach that?
Um, Usually just now I mostly use Ableton. I do a lot of like sample based stuff. For like the beats.
I
I
assume
also
because that's your comfort zone, it must be weird to try and move away from like making music with no sampling because you're almost
I
so
mean, I
used
can,
to.
and I've made a few pieces of music without sampling. I mostly play drums. That was like my introductory instrument, and I play a little bit of like bass and guitar, and I took piano lessons as a kid. So sometimes I'll try to do like some one-man band thing and like play every
That'd
instrument.
be very cool.
Uh,
Because I saw you
but
went to
I'm
you went to
mostly comfortable
Berkeley.
with drums.
You went to
Yeah,
Berkeley, and
for
you're
drums.
proper. You're like a proper musician. You undersell yourself as just like whatever, man.
Well, I'm mostly good at drums. I like everything else. It's like I could be better at.
That's with everyone though, isn't it? Like you're always going to be,
Yeah.
especially when you know it. Like it is a little bit is it Dunning Kruger curve, where like when you learn a bit, you start to realize how little you know about everything.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that.
isn't
Yeah,
it? Maybe I might have the wrong one, but it's definitely like music's definitely that where
I
you
know what
learn
you're
some
getting at.
theory,
Yeah,
and you'll be like,
yeah.
oh, now I know that I'm not that good a pianist, or I'm not that good a guitarist, or the more aware you are, the worse you are. Like in my head, I
I
could
do know
play.
what you're talking about. I think. Yeah, I think.
So the Alarm series, as you said, have you watched all of them? Are you a true fan of the Alarm?
Um, I've watched all of them at least once, but there's some that I don't remember, like when he's like at like whatever park is in Regina, like Wascana Park or
Yeah,
whatever.
well remembered. That's some
Um,
deep lore because I watched all of them for the channel,
yeah,
and yeah, it gets like the
yeah,
first 10 are pretty golden.
yeah. I mean, the Chinese bamboo tree thing was just so inane that like I just couldn't handle it.
No, but that's like there's a weird meditative bit. Like there's a few of them that just blend into this bizarre. It's like that one, the salad montage, where he just plays like shitty YouTube, non-royalty or royalty free music, and they're sitting making
Yeah,
salads is like up there. It's just this like almost calming
yeah,
presence. I can't imagine he ever rewatched them himself. You can tell like the
yeah,
first ones he like at least thought about a little, and then it just falls
yeah.
there. It's the next level, original two.
All right.
So I remember, I think I joined the group again around Original 2 from memory, which is pretty, what's that,
Yeah.
2018, 2019? Because
I think it was beginning of 2019. I actually like I had just started like uploading to a new channel.
was
I
that,
deleted my old channel, and that was when I started like doing like more like weird like memes and mashups and stuff in like early 2019.
so is that current channel, the William Maranci mashup,
Yeah.
only like 3 years, 2 years old then?
Well, I started uploading. First upload was like toward like maybe like September, August
Wow.
2018. And then I started like getting really serious about stuff. I had just finished college at the end of 2018. And I basically just like went like all out with YouTube, and by the end of the year I was starting to see some pretty good numbers. But I remember when Original 2 came out, and I remember Fantano actually reviewed it like
Yeah,
on the Fantano channel, which I think was the first time he did anything related to Uncle Adam since like burying the hatchet with him or
I
whatever.
think that's the only thing he did after Burn the Hatchet. Has he even mentioned him
Yeah,
since?
I think he has maybe like a TikTok or two, or maybe just like reference him maybe like once or twice. I don't know.
I think he's like passively mentioned him as like a sort of we're all aware that he exists a few times. Like he
Yeah,
did that sort of because wasn't that what Burn the Hatchet started with? Because he didn't actually.
yeah,
Oh
something
wait,
like
I don't know.
that.
I don't know if it was after because I know he's made videos where he's just been like, "Don't get into debt when you're making music," and you're like, "We know who you mean."
Yeah,
Um, yeah, because the other thing with that Fontana review of Original 2 is it's like really positive, which is really bizarre. Like it's one of the first
yeah,
times because that's why I know I was in the group again then
yeah.
because so I left and then I got really into T-Jack. We like at uni,
Oh no.
we just watch. I think I've seen genuinely every single Thomas James Earl Carpenter video up to like 2020. I swear to God, we just
Yeah,
stick him on every night. Every time we ride, it was just like stick him on T-Jack. I
yeah.
don't want to justify that. We'll just move on. It's fine. It happened. It's a part of us. But I rejoined, and I remember like Fontano's review of it being like, "Yeah, it's cool. He's doing this. It's really fun. It's whatever." And then the group were just like, "This is terrible, and I hate him." And I was such a like separate like, oh, okay,
Yeah. I do feel like Fantano was probably trying not to like get into any more stuff with Uncle Adams
yeah, I
because
feel it.
of like it seemed like he was like held at gunpoint by Uncle Adams's dad or something.
The Silent Investor, which we'll get to.
Yes.
Um, yeah, because I don't like. I don't. I mean, I don't know Fantano at all. You've had
Yeah,
conversations with him, haven't you? You know him semi-ish,
I
or
have. So I actually went to I met him in person in like 2015 when he came to a venue in Boston just to do like a meet and greet, and yeah, we met when I was like 19 in 2015. Um and since then, I mean, we do know each other somewhat. We're mutuals on Twitter right now.
very cute.
And yeah, he has heard some of my stuff, and we do occasionally talk on Twitter.
Very
Like,
wholesome.
I try not to bother him too much now because it's like he's a busy man. He's got like a million albums to listen to and review all the time, but you know, we definitely know each other.
That's very wholesome. Very, very wholesome.
Yeah, yeah,
But I do think the entire vibe again is he loves, like, I think he'll happily shit on like Drake, and he'll happily shit on, like,
yeah.
artists who aren't going to get hurt by me saying
Right.
you're not very good. But I feel like he definitely makes effort to not, like, just randomly, like, I think like any submissions that
Yeah,
come through or small artists, he's less likely to be like you're bad. He's more likely to be like,
yeah.
yeah, you've got like 10,000 Spotify listeners. I don't. It's okay. It's fine.
Right.
Whatever. In a good way. Like, I suppose it's
Yeah,
it's so easy to be so horrible on the internet. Like, but yeah,
yeah.
original posting we covered the
Yep.
extermination.
Oh
Um,
yeah, the Colby the Ferret diss track.
yeah, the original
Oh,
diss track. Oh no, wait, no, yeah, it was a diss track about. You're right. Yeah, spot on.
yeah, it's
Um,
so weird knowing that like I think that was the first Uncle Adams song where like I could tell he produced that himself, or like I could tell he like did the final mix himself
yeah, yeah,
of like the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
vocals. The vocals were so loud and just sounded like his Xbox mic or something a little bit. Um
Even
I
the
don't
ad
know.
libs and stuff as well are so, like, you can just
So
tell he did
true.
it once.
Yeah.
So true, yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
And
Like I think he was just so angry after seeing Emperor Penguin that he was like, I need to end this man's career if he even has one. He thinks it doesn't exist, but I mean,
to be
he says it
fair,
doesn't exist.
to be fair, what I love is that, like, at the time, so, like, I would like, Colby's disc was better than the
Yeah,
extermination. But having said that, like, Colby Farron's been real quiet. Colby Farron dropped
yeah,
that album and then just went, "Nah, I'm done," and never did anything
yeah,
again. So who really won? He did him.
yeah,
I remember I was on holiday when the
yeah,
extermination dropped, and I remember, like, turning to
yeah.
my like sister and was just like, "Oh my god, it happened!" Like, she's like the only one in the family who's like, "Oh, I get this. I'm also interested in this bizarre man," and I was like, you need to watch this now. You need to
And he
know."
straight up like dropped in a lamb about it.
Oh
Colby the
yeah.
Ferret.
And he just sits and justifies.
Oh,
He's like, he just needed to be told, man. It's fine. He's an ass. This kid, this hat. Oh, it's good stuff. It's a good
uh,
moment. That I was like that. I feel like
yeah,
that was the peak for me. That was like as good as the entire
yeah.
lore has ever gotten. It was just such a bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt like a time where it was like someone actually like I feel like it was one of the first times where like someone who was like not maybe on like the level of Fantano in terms of popularity, like someone who's like a little bit lower down the rung, like actually like getting him to respond in like
Yeah,
in like an actual song.
because even in his streams now, you do notice it where people say, like, "When's the next alarm?" And it's not even. I'm like, I get
Yeah,
ignoring. Like, if we were streaming now and there was posts being like, "You're a dick" or whatever, you'd be like, "I'll ignore
right.
that." But
Yeah.
it's stuff like, "When's the next alarm coming out?" or like, "What do you want to do about this?" And you just ignore it, and you're like, "This is weird." That, like, you don't want
Yeah.
to talk about it at all, and yeah, it's a bit odd. Like, credit fraud, credit fraud.
Credit fraud was that just like when he was like flipping
The
like
Home Depot
TVs?
The Home
Yeah.
Depot card. That's hilarious. That he, like,
Yeah.
maxed out a Home Depot card, which I didn't even know existed until him. I didn't
Yeah.
know you could get credit cards for, like, shops.
Was this something else that more specific?
The TVs, I think, was the thing, was like, because he had like the 10
Oh,
TV, because that was the tour announcement, wasn't it? He was like, "I'm going on
yeah.
tour, and I have 12 TVs in my living room for some reason."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know if there's a specific. I think it was just a lot of people threatening, like, "We will
Oh,
credit
okay.
fraud him." Dorian
Yeah.
Electra. Um,
Yeah. Oh, that was kind of how recent was that? That was 2020?
Do you think so?
2021?
Oh, it would have been. It must have been
I
late. It
think it
must
was
have been earlier than that.
2020.
That sounds about right, actually. It's
Yeah, this was
pre-COVID.
like after My Agenda dropped, I think. So it must have been like 2020. Was
Yeah,
it like during the pandemic?
it was
Yeah.
before the album they dropped,
Yeah.
because that was the whole thing. That was going to be a bonus track on Dorian's album, and then it never came out.
Yeah. And so it was their song Gentleman,
Yeah,
produced by Dylan Brady,
yeah.
mixed by Dylan Brady, and Uncle Adams like as like a guest verse. It was a pretty good verse.
It really was. Unironically,
Like,
that's the best minute
right.
of his career. That like sticks. Like I have like
Yeah.
occasionally thrown that on to be like, this is pretty good.
Were you at the stream where like that debuted?
As in Unk Stream
What?
or
No,
Gex?
Dorian. It was
No,
like
no.
whatever festival they were playing with, like Mood Killer and Sega Bodega or whoever
Oh
else.
right,
And
I didn't even know. So Dorian actually streamed it live.
yeah,
Oh my god, I didn't
and
know that.
it was like this VR chat thing where like I
I've
think
seen the
Unk was
photo, like the
actually
like awful, yeah, pixelated.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Unk, like, based on what he was saying in the chat, was like, how do I use this VR chat thing or whatever? Like, I don't think he knew what he was doing at all, but he was there.
That's great. That's so great. I wouldn't
Yeah.
know either. I can't, like take him down for that. It's fair enough. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, because I remember seeing the Gex gigs.
Yeah.
They would do like DJ sets and they would drop like original, like the acapella with something and stuff, which is like a funny joke. I didn't know
Yeah.
Dorian actually streamed it. That's so great.
Yeah. But I mean, after that drop, then I was like, oh, why is it no longer available on SoundCloud?
Oh no! Oh
Uh,
no! I still don't know to the day, and I don't think anyone would ever acknowledge it anyway. I don't know if it was the. I have a feeling it wasn't the digital blackface stuff, which is such a weird
I don't
two
know,
words to put together.
honestly.
I think it was actually probably the slur, the homophobic slur stuff, would be
Oh,
as in
really?
because people started like retweeting, hey friendo. So I think that might have been the like immediate like, ooh, maybe not from Dorian, but
I
don't know.
That's weird because I feel like, I mean, if like the Gex and Dorian knew, like, I feel like if they were like at least somewhat in Unkle or like knew about Unk, they probably had some idea that like that song had come out. I mean, maybe
That's a
not. I
good
don't know.
take, actually. Yeah. Although,
Yeah.
do we just think that everyone's? Because I think a lot of people have heard original and haven't heard anything else,
Right.
and we just assume like, oh, if you know
Maybe.
who Unk is, you also know the entire like everything.
Yeah.
You know everything. So maybe
But
it
like
is
they seem like people who just like pretty like
in.
they dwell the internet
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah,
much.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
so I
guess.
don't
Yeah, I know what you mean. It'd be like it's weird that they was obsess over
yeah.
a guy for months and actually pull him
Yeah.
in for a track and
Right.
then ghost him that quickly over something that they probably should have known about.
But yeah, that blackface tweet is like, oh,
It was, yeah. I mean, I've talked about this before as well. It's a very like weird. It's a very weird thing because
yeah,
it's a modern thing too. Obviously not blackface, but
yeah,
like, as in what actually happened there has never. I've never seen anything like it. It's such a
right.
bizarre. Like, oh man.
I think he should have just taken the L, but the tweets after that honestly just kept making it worse and
Yeah,
worse. Like when he tweeted at Elon Musk to like
and
or whoever the app owner was or whatever
I think
about
Elon
that.
Musk and stuff were tweeted because I think he then randomly tweeted people as well, being like, "Yo, did you hear about like at PewDiePie?" It was like that
Oh,
insane. Yeah, agreed. Like,
yeah.
I've that is one of those examples where if he just tweeted it and then people were like, "Yo,
Yeah.
is that a bit weird?" and he was like, "Oh my god, you're right," and like that
They,
was it, conversation
there
over.
was actually like PewDiePie did reply to Uncle Adams and Fantano like years ago when they were like talking to each other, and PewDiePie was like, "I'm not involved in this. Like, stop adding me," or something like that.
I love that. I'm not.
Yeah,
Don't include me. I don't want to know.
right.
Good stuff. But yeah, old tweets. I mean, that's you've seen
Drunk
the
as fuck, headed to the pump.
and the
Classic.
the classic, and the I smash beers like your mom smashes pizza or something like that, or pizza rolls or something. It's so stupid.
Or like that Mike Tyson quote or whatever.
I don't know if I know that one.
the I'll F you till you love me friendo.
Oh, right, yeah,
Basically a reference to that.
yeah, yeah. I'm shocked that people don't delete their Twitters. I don't know,
Right.
like, people are bad. No one's shocked that, like,
Yeah.
homophobic people exist and sexist people and whatever, but, like, I am
Right.
shocked that anyone has a platform and has never, ever thought, like, in 2022, isn't going, I
Yeah.
should probably delete those
Right.
bad things. It's like a, another level in it.
Yeah. Like unless it's like I don't know, maybe like share like accidentally like tweeting like just a lowercase h or something or just
Share Twitter is
unless
so good.
yeah,
I'm
unless it's
so
like
glad you
something
brought
like
that.
that, it's like I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, definitely like the late 2000s, 2000 or 2010s, like especially like earlier in those decades, like people
Yeah.
were saying horrible stuff, and it would probably be wise for a lot of people to just like
Yeah, like
do a
I'm
little
not.
cleanse.
It's like two levels of stupidity. It's like I get there's always gonna be people who say stupid shit and do stupid shit,
Right.
whatever. But like it blows my mind that they haven't like no PR person has gone
Yeah.
probably get rid of those, mate. I'll be honest with you.
Right.
It looks a bit bad. It's like I don't know how that
Yeah.
in this like era of the internet. Don't do either. Is a vibe.
Yeah.
Probably. But yeah, Colby Farron with covers, remixes.
Yep.
That's you, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
just you.
I have made like a few mashups in the past. I actually have a band camp that I've abandoned that was like all Uncle Adam's mashups
I didn't know about
basically. It
this.
was yeah. It's called it was just Uncle Adam's original posting.bandcamp.com.
You got
Didn't
in
really have
early.
like yeah, it didn't have an official affiliation to the group, but I made it.
But I own it, so
Yeah,
it's fine. But yeah.
remixes, yeah.
I assume it's just the homicide remix. I guess is the only other remix
Oh yeah, that's right.
he
I know
said. I was just gonna say he
yeah.
said in his recent stream that someone asked him would he do like a remix album, implying that like I think what they were getting at was would he take his acapellas from say the new album and give them to the
Yeah.
likes of you and so on and be like just let you go ham on it, and he was just like I don't really. It was such a when he started it, I was like, I'm actually with him there. And then he said something. I was like, wait, hang on, you've just immediately contradicted yourself. He was
Oh
like,
no.
I never got remixes. I don't really. He was like, it's cool that some people do that. It's really creative, but like, I don't
Yeah.
really. I know I've done one or two in the past, but I'm not really into them. I don't really like doing remixes.
Huh.
But I would love it if I can't remember who he said. He said someone like Eminem or whoever would
Uh,
jump on my track as a remix, and I
right.
was like, so you'd only like it if someone who has 50 million Spotify listeners would do it, but not you doing it.
Yeah.
Like what you've just described is, oh, if Drake does it to me, that's fine.
I
You
know
know?
that like he said that Merlando sends him remixes that fans have done and he said he likes some of them, but I don't know, he probably just I
Immediately
don't
goes,
know.
nah. I would see
Right,
him,
yeah.
yeah, just hater or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Northside Queen City. Any thoughts on Northside Queen City, man?
Yeah. I remember I remember before like a lot of like the like other tracks that's resurfaced were resurfaced or whatever, like the older Dark Unk tracks. I
Yeah,
remember that one actually being up and having like a low quality music video like
yeah, it's still
before.
there on. I mean,
Yeah,
not officially, whatever, but like someone still put it.
yeah. I remember thinking the song like was fine. Like I thought it was better than most of his songs, and but definitely like was very like D12 like
Yeah, good take. Yeah, like
Eminem. Yeah,
clearly like well, I said product of his time, but I guess that was also 15 years. Like it's as if he's moved slower than the rest of the
yeah,
industry. Like he sounded just
yeah.
like all of them guys in the 2000s, and then he's only starting to slowly start to sound like the 2014 era
Yeah.
of hip hop.
I don't even know like what like Regina or like the Saskatchewan hip hop culture is like, but I mean maybe whole culture is just kind of frozen in time and like hasn't really progressed past like I don't know 50 Cent. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even, I said like In the Club is still like the biggest tune they have. You're like,
Right.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
music, Soldier Boy still ahead for them. That's like, all right,
Yeah.
they I know what Irish rap's like, and it's a very mixed bag. There's like 5 good
Oh,
Irish rappers, and the rest are all terrible. It's
I
good.
can't say I've heard of any Irish rappers.
There's a
Is it
reason for that, if you know
is
what I
it
mean.
like at all like grime adjacent or no?
So it depends. There's a lot of stuff. I'm hearing a lot more stuff that's like spoken word Irish
Ah,
stuff. So it's like like the streets, say,
yeah.
kind of that. I don't know what you would even
Okay.
quantify that as. There's quite a lot of stuff like that, but it's more sort of arty.
Yeah.
And then there's Dublin has a big rap scene because you get a
Oh,
lot of the stuff sort of
yeah.
up north where I am, and then the UK is all, as you say, grime and
Yeah.
Dave adjacent and stuff, and then the stuff in Dublin, a lot of it's like, yeah, man, we're from the hard part, and you just can't you can't get past the accent, man. It's just so grim.
I do remember, like, I mean, before like grime really came into the public consciousness.
Yeah,
Like, I remember mostly thinking that the UK was just a bunch of like chap hop or whatever, or like whatever, like gorillas or whatever. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Gorillas is probably a
So
good example of that. Or
Dublin, maybe Ireland does have potential to like, actually get like some kind of like Irish grime adjacent rap scene. I don't know.
we'll see. But yeah, I'll keep smashing through because we're gonna do this for like 2 hours at
Cool.
this rate. So pottery is just pottery, and
Yeah.
dark unk with covered.
Yep.
Bleeding Cowboy. Bleeding
It's a
Cowboy is
great font.
a great font. I was actually tempted to make like a full video on it, but it basically just turned into me just pointing at it being bad. I
Yeah.
was like struggling to go any deeper than just loads of bands use it. It's not very good. So
Yeah.
maybe someday. Uh,
Yeah.
all his fans are ironic. Clearly not, because we're
Yeah.
clearly both his biggest fans.
Yeah. Though definitely I think like if he like got like I feel like there's some interesting like artists that people like kind of enjoy ironically are harder to cancel, I think. Like even if like Uncle Adams, like I mean he's done multiple things that like some artists probably could have their careers end over. But the fact that people are like kind of half ironically interested in him, it's like he's harder to cancel. I don't know. Like Corey Feldman has done a
Yeah,
lot of awful stuff, but people never really were like they were kind of laughing at him a little bit. So I don't think like his music is ever going to be like blacklisted or whatever.
do you think though that's because so it's probably a mix of there's some competence with Unk. No,
Yeah,
when I say confidence, I mean like so the school stuff and the I'm Stronger, like in a mainstream hip hop vibe, trying to be cool in the
yeah,
scene, no, but like there was, I mean, I've talked about this a million times, but like that was the kind of career he was going to go down, and that kind of
yeah.
would have worked. He could have lived off that, but
Right.
I guess the other difference is most sort of outsider artists and so on, like him,
Yeah,
make like one bad album then disappear.
yeah.
Whereas he's is like the question of what happens if they grind for six
That
months after that, and then
yeah.
another year, and another year, and another year, and whatever.
Oof.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't like. There's not. I can't really think of many internet figures like him that
yeah,
aren't sort of. I guess like there's more YouTube influencer type stuff, but yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
It's a specific breed. T-Jack. So we're on the third level, man. There
Yep.
is more. I probably should have said that. There's like I've just
Yeah,
not scrolled down
I
yet,
know.
but
Yeah.
T-Jack. Yeah, T-Jack. Will say this. Racism aside,
Yeah.
his version of Gummo goes harder than Takeshi 6ix right? Like
Yeah, that one's
his
crazy.
delivery is genuinely, not okay, but like
Yeah.
unhinged in a bad and good way at the same time.
Oh yeah, he's like a car salesman. He
Yeah,
apparently
yeah.
he's good too.
He's a very good Carl salesman. What do you mean? He's been
Yeah.
top, manager of the month, or whatever, like a few times.
Yeah.
Good man. Apart from
Yeah.
the frequent use of the N word, but that's all right.
Oh my god.
That's not,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. It's fine. It's fine. Cletus, the most elitist.
Yeah. Rapper out here for the people.
Bring back Cletus, man. I love that he still references
Yeah.
him occasionally, like, oh yeah, Cletus.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
But didn't you like take down the original Cletus video?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Well, there's the whole white because he said white is right, or whatever. Make him white, make him
Oh,
right.
even though he was talking about teeth, but it's like,
It's good.
no context. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It was just because I remember the first time seeing people comment, make him right, and I was like, what? Like, not even click. Because I didn't even, like, when I saw it again, I was like, oh, right, yeah, obviously, but it didn't even click that how horrendous it was. It's good.
yeah.
None of it.
Yep.
That's
The none of it tour.
that's a good stream. That was a good alarm.
Yeah. No music though. They
No.
didn't he didn't. There was no footage of him actually performing. It was just like part of the magic, the magicians.
Brian Glow, man. Brian Glow.
Yeah, Brian Glow. Yeah, it was just like a little bit of footage from Brian Glow. They didn't actually show him rapping.
It's the
at
cut to
all.
black, and then just like they didn't film it. It's just so depressing. It's almost high art. Like it's so good. And then let's take another 10 minutes of him on planes. Like it almost. I would believe that every time I've watched that, another flight is on it because he's literally traveling for the entire video, and then it's like I'm in the hotel room. They forgot to hit film. That's that.
Yeah.
Game over. A depressing
Yeah.
waste of time that was. We got Nibblings with a double B.
Yes.
I don't know if typo or
2 B's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ruse. I don't know Ruse.
It was the shoes, the kangaroos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
People just call them ruse or whatever. Yeah.
Fair enough. His dad's a silent investor.
Yep.
Do you believe that? What do you think? What are your
I think it's very possible. I mean, I know I've heard that his dad is like pretty well off. And I mean, he was also in was he the principal in the I Am Stronger video? Was that it?
He's one of them. I don't think it's the principal.
Yeah.
I think he's because I know
Or
his
he was
sister
one
or
of the
someone was in.
teachers.
But yeah, I think you're
vice
right. Yeah,
principal maybe. Yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely involved behind the scenes, at least in some capacity.
I wonder as well. He said in his most recent stream that he said something like, when people email me, you're not actually emailing me. I have someone who takes care of that. And a little bit of me was like, why? Like, how often do you get emailed, man? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how much. I don't know. I mean, you've a semi-successful channel. How many DMs do you get? Do you can't handle? I would imagine you handle your own admin pretty confidently.
Yeah, I don't have a manager or anything. I do get some emails from time to time. Not a ton, but a few.
And I can't imagine you're sort of going, do you know, like, I'm just assuming that he isn't, although there'll be people trolling him and stuff, I can't imagine it's enough to be like, I need someone else to read my emails and to...
Yeah, maybe he has like a fake email or something. Or no, not a fake email, but like... Actually, yeah, I mean, he might have someone else who runs UA inquiries. I don't know.
I don't want to be, I don't want to get too lol cow with him ever. I've always
Right.
struggled with that, where I'm like, because I nearly made a video on T-Jack, and I was like, this feels a bit too Kiwi Farms for me.
Right.
It's a bit too...
I haven't really been on there much, but I've heard stories.
You know the vibe. You know the like... I don't spend time on it either, but like it's just like, I never want to be at the stage where I'm like, going through... Basically, as far away from sort of Chris Chan core as possible is probably a good choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon his dad's definitely involved, but I actually do have a funny feeling the silent investor was someone else at some point, purely because I don't think he'd have brought it up as much. Like, I think he would say it as like bragging rights that someone, I guess I would as well. If someone was like, here, I'll pump 100 grand a year into your music, I'd probably be like, yeah, man, I've got this dude.
Imagine if he was bragging that, like, my dad's giving me the money.
That's what I mean, yeah. Like, I don't even think, even behind the scenes, even if you're lying about it, I don't think you would tell that lie. It's a bit of a weird lie to tell,
Yeah.
BPM stuff, that's me. Presumably. That's what he means. Nothing else. I refuse to take anything. I'm rewriting history as we speak.
I mean, I will say Pro Tools, like, they were using Pro Tools in the studio for the BPM stuff. And Pro Tools is hard as hell. I don't really know how to use it.
I did it a wee bit. I did like a master's in like film sound stuff, and I used it like once for that. It's not even just how hard it is. It's like £1,000 a year now to use it or whatever. It's ridiculously overpriced. Yeah, it's not great. It's really when seeing people in full flow with all the shortcuts and all are impressive, but never gonna go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Uncle Adams. Any I don't. Oh,
Entertainment
entertainment
group.
group. See, you can read.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So
Two egg.
you
Two egg.
you mentioned it earlier. Yeah, the 2A, the T or the UA sort of
Yeah.
inquiries and stuff, and is building
Yeah.
his dream.
As far as I know, the Uncle Adams Entertainment Group has so any they were blocking people's videos. I think a YouTube poop got blocked.
Right.
Like however, I know that the Uncle Adams Entertainment Group anyone who filed a counter notification, I don't think at least for the YouTube poop, I know they didn't get back to like answer to the counterclaim in time, so the video went back up.
Yeah, because I mean I've never had a problem. I don't think he's definitely one or two of them are copyright claimed on my channel,
Yeah.
as in, but they're he runs ads on them, whatever. But I don't think I've ever had any cease and desist. But whether
No,
that's
same.
because it's later now, I guess,
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, I don't know. He
Yeah.
will never stop. I hope he doesn't. I would quite like it if he went on forever.
Yeah, that I remember thinking that song was I mean, just kind of meh.
Where are
I
you
will say
going
the
with this?
hook
It's
is
not.
kind of in my head.
What annoys me about the hook is it doesn't quite fit the way. Like I remember being like, he will
Yeah,
never stop, and it doesn't hit the beat where
he
I think
doesn't
it
know
does.
how to.
So you're almost like,
Yeah,
he will never stop. He doesn't know how. Like, and you're trying to find
yeah,
where the sort of
yeah.
awkward rhythm is.
I
But
don't even remember I don't know. Sometimes I'll think I remember an Uncle Adams song, and then verses from other songs by him will fill the places where it's the verse of another song,
yeah, I'm
and
with
it's
you. Yeah. Like
yeah,
they all just slowly become the third verse of original.
yeah.
P Water. He
Oh
brought up
yeah, the
someone spammed it in the chat in his last stream, and he was like, "Can we stop?" So he's clearly a little bit aware of that. That was a bad
what do
post.
you think? What do you think the P water was actually?
Wasn't it just peas and water? Wasn't it just they hadn't drained it out of a colander or whatever, or like a
Maybe, or
sieve?
was it some poorly made gravy? I don't know.
I hope to God not.
I,
It looked
yeah,
like I've had dinners look like that,
yeah,
75% finished. That isn't the final
yeah.
product or whatever, but it's another one where wouldn't if you just saw that you wouldn't question it, but the idea of you choosing to post it online and being like, look what I have, is very weird.
Yeah,
But
I mean, gramming your food, or your own cooking, it is a risk, but
yeah,
that one was definitely one of the more lazy ones that I've ever seen. Usually the best shitty food porn
that's a good
things
Twitter and stuff.
there's at least some effort that goes into it, but it's a catastrophic failure.
Yeah,
Whereas it doesn't even look like he really tried.
yeah, he just is like, yeah, here, this is what I'm having.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, I don't know what to do with this, man. Thank you for posting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bleach. I don't know what Bleach
I
is.
think it was Shay from the I Am Stronger video.
Do you know what? Bleach is just forever entwined with Father Stretch My Hands by Kanye
Yeah.
for me. That
Oh
I
yeah.
just can't move. Anytime I read Bleach, no matter what
I hope
context.
no one's mashed those two songs up. They have kind of bizarre they definitely have different tempos that would make it hard to mash them up, but I hope no one's ever made that mashup happen and actually splice it so it's I don't know.
Even if it's a race to the
People could
finish.
do something with that.
It's a race to
Yeah.
the finish between us two now, I think, is what you're trying to say. I don't know if I could be asked I'm trying to think the Cuddy line. The if you're mature,
yeah.
don't trying to with
Yeah.
something with I'm stronger, but I don't know.
Those songs actually have the opposite problem. It's the first verse on the Kanye song is literally about the bleached asshole.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
last line of the second verse right before he goes, "I am smarter, I am stronger," is the "she drank bleach"
Ah,
line.
there you go.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
both of those lines I feel like could have been at a different point in the verse and it wouldn't have been as jarring.
I love it on Life of Pop. I had this bizarre listening
Yeah.
experience the first time I listened to it where I was like really, I don't know if I was drunk or hungover, but I was in an awful state at like 5 in the morning when that listening party
Yeah.
came out, and he kept saying, "Oh, it's a gospel album," and I was like, "Yes, it is." And Ultralight Beam played, and I was like, "Yes, this is a gospel album." And then Father Stretch My Hand played, and despite that line and all, I was just like, "Yeah, it's a gospel album. You're just not getting it."
Yeah.
Like whatever wavelength I was on, I was like, "This is
I
like
think
future gospel. This is
it's worse in the Uncle Adams case because it's like right before
a
a
chorus."
chorus that basically contradicts the line right before it.
I didn't even think of that. But
Like,
like, she's
she's
dead.
dead,
I'm
but I
stronger.
am smarter. He's like dancing on her grave.
Jesus Christ. I could feel this. You said that, and I felt yourself go, "Whoa, that's so heavy."
Yeah.
Unreal. Good stuff. Merlando, we mentioned. Merlin himself.
Yep.
Merlando's a
Yep.
cool name, I must say. Like, I suppose being
Yeah.
called Merlin is half the battle.
He's
Uh,
kind of cool, actually.
he's a funny one to
He
me.
seems fine. Yeah.
He seems cool.
I mean, not his rap verses from the Dark Unk days, but
No.
like, I don't know. His videography is pretty good, and he is actually, is he still in original posting?
Well, yeah, because he occasionally posts, but I do
Yeah.
find him a bit. He's a funny one to me because I'll be like, "Oh, he seems kind of cool," but at the same
Yeah.
time, he's kind of like fucking over his mate by like sort
Yeah.
of. He's kind of footing two places, you know. He's kind of one foot in the grave, one foot
Yeah.
whatever.
He is definitely like the probably the best like bridge between original posting and Uncle Adams if I
Yeah,
had to.
good take. Yeah,
Yeah.
wholesome take.
Yeah.
The needle drop beef that you mentioned, or needle
Yep.
deck beef even.
Needle dick. Yeah.
That's
Ugh.
it. I'll say this. That's a pretty funny line. That was a pretty funny thing to say. It was really
Yeah.
funny, like, you know, of how whingy that video is when he's like, "I call him the needle dick." It's a pretty funny, like, takedown. Davy Sage. Is Davy Sage
Yeah.
the.
I'm
Which
gonna
one's it?
die one day. He's
Yeah,
the
Die One
like
Day.
person who
Yeah,
did that chorus. It's a
yeah, yeah.
great chorus. Like,
Yeah, it's
I
pretty good.
wish him the best. He seems like a pretty wholesome individual.
He's never been mentioned again, though, isn't he? He's one of those ones he's just, like, gone from the face of the earth. And
No, but yeah, people seem to have to like at least like him more than like J.C. Wiles.
well, JC Watt, because I actually had mixed the two of them up. That's what I was going to ask you. JC
Yeah.
Watt's a totally different kettle of
Yeah.
conspiracy fish. Did you see him read? Did you see JC Watt recently rejoined or is still posting? I think he's kicked again now because of his fucking horrendous. Like it's bad. It's proper QAnon shit. Like it's like pretty
Oh
heavy.
man. I knew he was like far right, but like he like posting Q shit in
It was
original
proper
posting?
like why would you get vaccinated? The government is trying to control. It was proper 5G is COVID stuff. You know what I mean? You're like, oh
Oh.
man, you're so over the edge. It's over.
I wonder if he was like in one of those trucker convoys recently.
What's that on the left? Oh, Jared, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah, Jared. Seems like a wholesome dude. Seems like an old dude.
He seems fine. I don't know if he's still working with Unk, but
I kind of doubt it because he's not mentioned in this
yeah.
stuff. I think there seems to be.
I will say like the mixing I mean, Jared's mixing was okay. Like sometimes there was just like some really high tinny stuff from just
Yeah.
Uncle Adams's voice that would get thrown in there that I didn't really love. But I feel like it's Uncle Adams's production has gotten a little rougher at some point in the past like year or two.
Yeah, agreed. I think like part of the problem there is you don't know if because like with engineering it's such a thankless job because if you do it well
Yeah.
no one cares because it sounds fine, but it's really hard to
Yeah.
know whether or not he recorded the stuff in like 3 hours and this is the best he could do, quickly throw it together.
Yeah.
Or like because as you said, there's stuff where it sounds like he hasn't even de-essed it. His
Yeah.
vocals, like the t-p-k stuff is really
That's
in your ear. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think I know he uses Adobe Audition apparently for his vocals.
Oh yeah, he said
Now?
that because I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's such a weird. I was like the what? I'd never ever think, man, get on the audition
Yeah.
train.
I know people use like Audition for like surround sound, like 5.1 stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't know anyone who like uses it for like, vocal production. Oh, Girl Talk I think might have used it for like mashups,
I
but
wonder why. That's interesting.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know enough about. I just like if someone said which DAW are you gonna use, that would be so
Yeah.
low down the like. It probably has a purpose for like specific stuff, but like I don't know
Yeah.
how in your searching what DAW should I get, how it isn't
Right.
Pro Tools, Ableton, whatever else, Reaper, and
Yeah.
I'm saying Reaper because I fancy Reaper, but don't know. Unkle
Yeah.
Goblin,
Yep.
classic.
That's like kind of tied into the P water thing a little bit too, right?
Was it at the same time? I actually don't know the origin of
Well,
that.
I
You
know
know
that
that?
there's been like a combination. Like I think people tend to like combine those two things. Like he's like a goblin who that like the
Consumes,
P water
yeah.
is goblin food or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually don't know when. I think it was just that photo he posted of him being like a kind of goblin-y face, and that was just
Yeah.
enough to make it a thing. I don't know. There must be one
Yep.
dude who made his skin green, and that was enough. Like
Yes,
he's
someone did that. Yeah.
3 or 4 years later, everyone's still like goblin shit, goblin mode.
Yep. Yeah.
Brian Glow we mentioned already was none of it,
Yeah.
and Booze Tune.
Didn't he referenced him in a song? Was it Oh yeah, the Homicide remix. He was like magical like Brian Glow
Oh
or
yeah,
something like.
man, that's a deep
Yeah.
cut. That's a deep cut from you. That's
Yeah.
excellent piece of lore.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I would not have remembered that. Oh my god. Good take. Good bar to be fun. Like only
Yeah.
a small amount of people get it, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And then Boost Tune, the classic.
Uh, uh.
Um,
I think that is the song. Like other than the diss track to Spite, like that is the one song that could probably like if people just kept like posting like that to Twitter like enough, like and Uncle Adams was like bigger.
yeah.
Yeah, he would not be bigger after that if he just kept posting like
What
those lines.
What are your thoughts on the beat? So I go
Um,
back and forth whether I hate that beat or I actually think it's kind of because obviously it's really lo-fi and corny and whatever, but I
yeah.
don't know if it's kind of cool.
I mean,
Aside
if you
from
take out the drums, it's like maybe like a weird like under like a banjo kazooie level where
yeah,
or like where you're like in a cave or
like
something.
RuneScape or something, like it's a really
Yeah,
specific. It's really, yeah, it's good.
yeah,
It's kind of got that like. Did you ever hear the Temple OS music? It's got that kind of vibe of like
maybe.
the piano
No,
loop
I
that's
don't
always
think I
playing.
have.
Oh, it's Maz, another flipping outsider bizarre artist. It was the
Ah,
guy
yeah,
Terry A. Davis who made Temple OS, which is like an operating system. But he was like
yeah.
schizoaffective disorder or schizophrenic, and
Huh.
he was making this
I've
operating
heard
system
of
for
it.
God, yeah. But he has the piano loop that's always played his docs and stuff that like was generated, but it's good. It's a nice little thing.
Yeah,
But same kind of vibe of like kind of
yeah.
lo-fi but weirdly digital at the same time, you know.